Order filled.
Okay, good afternoon, folks. It's all right, I'm just in a trade now. Just taking a failure on... Oh, you are kidding me. Just taking a failure on my other chart. Shouldn't do this. I really shouldn't do this. Just moved my stop. Good morning, folks. You idiot.
Order cancelled.
I've just moved my stop. I really shouldn't have done that. I can't believe I did that. I'm just going to have to try and get out of this. Just see where this goes. I can't believe I've just done that, you idiot. Okay, there is a second entry forming on this other one. Let's see how it works. Oh, can't believe I did that. Come on, push up. There is a second entry long on my other chart. I'll be lucky if I get away with this. It's going to take me out, surely. Come on, baby. Let's have a little bit. Come on, push up. I'm in a heap of trouble here. Oh, dear. Yeah, I do have a large stop. What we have got is two legs down. Damn, I made a mistake on my other one. I jumped in a bit prematurely. Come on. Well, I'm in it now. 2.5 losses this is going to be. This is going to be a big lesson, this is. It's probably about the safest place as it can be. I'm just going to have to ride this one out. Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. Can't believe I did that. Yeah, I've got a little channel with a break and a new low. Okay, second entry long. See if I can get through this, the skin of my teeth. We need to get above this one here. Well, this is the chart I'm looking at. We need to get above here, and then I got half a chance then. So let's probably stop there anyway.
Target filled.
Christ almighty. Oh, talk about skin of me teeth there. Good grief. I need to take a breath. I was completely lucky there, Kev. Very lucky. What it was, I took this trade there, the second entry long there. So my stop would have been around about there. So I actually went down to there. It didn't go that far, luckily. It was an extra couple of ticks. Wow. A bit lucky, yeah. Lucky ain't the word. Someone was smiling on me then. I just got, it's strange that is, I just got in a bit premature. Let me just reconnect this. I mean, I left it there. It would have just been 2.5 losses. Definitely not, no. That's the first time I've done that for months. That's all right, it's not connected yet. What I'm going to have to do is with this Guardian Angel is do it so I can't move my stop. That's the first time I've done that in months, in a few months. He was about to hit, yeah. A couple of legs back. Yeah, I'm going to have to do it so that I can't move my stop. I can't be doing that. Oof. Yeah, it was a second entry long I took on the other one. I gave it a couple of extra ticks it would have stopped me out for. Well. Has anybody rolled over? I've rolled over onto March's contract. You did? Yeah, I have as well. I've rolled over both charts. Yeah, we got news coming up in about, just under a minute. Oof. I can't be doing that. I can't believe I did that. It's complete idiocy. I'm going to have to look at back later and find out what my risk was. Do you know what? I think why I kind of did it is because I knew we'd had a break and I thought the chance of going up was pretty good. I completely forgot about the news. Okay, we have had the news. So 1, 2, 3. There is a triple test now. So 2 legs back. So news has come and gone. Both price. Different levels. There is a triple test there, but I'm not a massive fan of that bar. Let me just reload. I can't remember whether I reloaded. Different contracts. 31 tick stop loss. Yeah, I brought it down to here. Would have been a $750 loss, which would have been the maximum I can have on this. It would have taken me 3.5 trades to get that back. What it was is I jumped in a bit prematurely at second entry, and it started coming straight back. In fact, they're quite different now. In fact, there's not even a second. Yeah, there is actually. Okay, we got a leg with a break. So I'm going to sort my Guardian out. I can't believe I did that. I haven't done that for months. I'm going to put into my Guardian Angel so I can't change my stop. I can only move it towards my profit, not away. It takes that moment of weakness, doesn't it? like to break below here and give us a bullish bar for a triple test. Like to break below this. Yeah, they quite are often different. I don't quite know why, but someone told me that not to worry too much about it. I noticed, I think, last quarter, and I couldn't figure out why. And I put something on Thomas Wade's, and they said, yeah, it's going to be because of this, but don't worry about it. I know it sounds odd, doesn't it? You think the price on the NQ is the price, it should never change, but yeah, it does. I don't quite understand why, to be honest with you. The trouble is, when you're a retail trader, you don't necessarily get any formal training. You know, if you got taken on by an investment firm or something, and you know you'd have proper structured trading, you'd know how you know why everything worked and for what reason. Well, it's the price. Oh, of course, yeah. Because it's of course. The price is the price, isn't it?
Order submitted.
Okay. Why can I not? Why won't one of my contracts work? That's strange. Contracts won't work. 15, 11, 9 and 8.
Order cancelled. And I've got 8 here. 15, 11, 9 and 8. Oh, hold on a minute. Order submitted.
Okay. One of my accounts isn't working for someone. Okay, there's a second entry long I've taken. I'm just super nervous now. I've just got to leave it. It's a triple test. One of my accounts isn't. I don't quite know why. Boom. I've taken the triple test on there. Bounce. Bullish bar goes below this. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stops there, isn't there? I'm just getting out of this. I'm just nervous all of a sudden there. After that, it spooked me a bit, that has. So I got out of it for a couple of $100, 150. I think I did the right thing as well. I don't know why account 17 isn't working. Why not? Why isn't account 17? Let me just sort something out a minute.
Order submitted.
Oh, it's working there. I don't get it. Hold on a second.
Order cancelled.
Reallocation. Exact quantity. Let me just try it again. Something's not working here for some reason.
Order
Bye.
submitted.
Everything's working now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's odd. I don't know why.
Order cancelled.
Okay, let's just change that to 17 and get 17 in.
Order filled.
What am I doing? Something's not working well today. I'm making a mess here. What's going on? Hey Tony, how you doing? You have one order open. Yeah, 17. I've just gone in. I like the setup. I got $150 off a few of them, but one of them didn't trigger for some reason. I'm getting a little bit of a mess here. Why isn't it on that one, but it's on this one? Yeah. 17 didn't trigger, so I've got back in with just 17. That's probably going to go up there, won't it?
Target filled.
Okay, I'm out for 150 on each. Let me just check everything. Okay, everything's as it should be. I don't know why it opened on one and not the other. Okay, I got you. So we got 8 there. 8 there. That just spooked me, that did. When you filled your first order, you had a reverse open. I don't know why. They're all as they should be. They're all... Well, one was 159. Right, it was 25. Yeah, what it was, for some reason, is one of them didn't open. I don't quite know why. The trade did work anyway. That was the trade I went for, the second entry long, and it was a triple test, and it worked. But for some reason, one of the accounts didn't get in. So would that have worked for 3 points? Yeah, it would have done. So that would have worked fine. So 1, 2, 3 triple test. That was the trade I went for there, the second entry long there. Now, it triggered on the other chart, but when I reloaded it, it hasn't. So it would have worked for 300. Well, sorry, that first one wouldn't have done, but I just spooked myself, that's all, which is why I got out the trade a bit early. So I'm up 175, well, 160 and 140 on the other one. I guess it didn't trigger the first trade you took. So the order was sitting there. Yeah, it's unusual, that. Yeah, it might have been. I'll have to go back and have a look at that. Just really spooked me, that did. I got in way too prematurely. I don't know if you remember, I did that about a couple of months ago, and I did say I wasn't going to trade the first 5 minutes or first 10 minutes of the open. So I think I'm going to have to get back to my original plan. I'm going to have to put a couple of things in. Yeah, I wasn't the only one who took that. There was a couple of traders took that. So not so fantastic setup on here, but it is clearly 2 legs down and it did work. But on here, the setup was much better. Second entry long, 1, 2, 3 triple test. We sort of had a channel with a break. Yeah, I need to. The trouble is, when the markets first open, those emotions, you get those little bit of emotions, do you? So there's two things I'm going to have to change. I use a third-party copy sometimes in the database. To be honest with you, it's the first time I've had trouble with it, and for some reason, I just don't quite know why. But I got back in on that individual one because I like the trade, apart from when it had that little strong pullback quickly. So at least got something on those. Everything else is as it should, isn't it? I have to clear the database. Yeah. After the open. Yeah. So I'm going to put my my Guardian Angel in, so I can't trade the first. Well, it's not that I have a problem trading it. If I decide to trade it, I decide to trade it. It's not something that I have any issues controlling getting into a trade early. Just spooked me a bit, that did. I got a bit early. Anyway, let's have a look. Is there something wider there? I'm not sure at the moment. Yeah, it was a bit volatile, really. What it is, there was a channel up there and I saw these two pushes back, but it didn't trigger on that chart. It triggered on the other one and came straight back. As it came back, I moved my stop a bit. I've got to stop doing that. I rarely do now. Clearly once is too much. So I can put on my Guardian Angel so I can only move my stop towards my profit and not away. Now, obviously, depending on the signal bar, you have to make sure in your ATM strategy, you have to make sure you give it enough space, because if I do it for 3 points and it ends up being a 3¼ point, I'm not behind my signal bar. So I think the best thing to do is to set my stop to about 5 points. That way, hopefully, it'll be further back. I mean, I don't really want to be risking over 5 points anyway. At least that way, you can push your stop towards it, but not away. What strange that was. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that later. It just goes to show you sometimes there's still a bit of emotions there, can make it be a little bit impulsive. Fortunately, that time I got away with it. I think part of the reason I moved it is because I knew, well, my gut feeling was we'd had a break of this and we were pushing up to a new high, which we have done. But yeah, there's no setup here. Or was that the setup? No, it wasn't. It was further back here. I put my stop loss there, which was a $750 risk. I don't want to do $750 risk. But for me, I suppose partly that was the line in the sand, that it's doubtful it was going to get below. It just means I would have had 3.5 trays to get that money back. Well, to get back to where I was, so to speak. You have to constantly be on your game. One little slip up and you're in trouble. So this does look like it's pushing up for a second leg. So far, there is levels up here which it could tackle. But yeah, I'm going to not trade the first 15 minutes. I rarely do, to be honest with you. Do you know what I think it is? Because last week I took one, I think I took 2 trades on my funny futures, but nothing on my account. And you know, when you see, sometimes you see what you think looks like a trade and you realise you haven't had one for a while, and sometimes you get a bit impulsive. I had the right direction in mind. It just would take me stop out for a couple of ticks, which is always a bit frustrating, but it's nothing you can do about it, really. Yeah. Lock stop orders. So it stops you moving it away. But obviously, when you set your ATM strategy, you've got to make sure you give your stop enough room so that you can pick it up and bring it forward into place. Obviously, if you're going long, there'd be no point in having a 3-point stop order if the bar's 3.5 points because it's or locked, because I can't move it away. You can only move it in the direction. See, part of me wants to get rid of this, so I don't have the option to click or buy or sell. I actually click buy there. Trouble is, if you go straight for buy, it takes away that extra second to right click and open that to think. The trouble is, sometimes if there's an issue here, I need to click stop. Several fail-safe entries and failures along the EMA. I took 2 of them to end the day this early, but I might journaling done. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I consider myself lucky there. I ended up not losing anything. It could have been a $750 loss. That would have been a stinger. I mean, I have my account set that if I have one loss, it won't let me record. It won't let me. It won't let me trade again. But I have one account that I can move on to, so I only have that with some of my accounts, and just the one account that I can continue to trade. But the rest won't let me trade after one loss, which I think is enough. I will say it's not often you get lucky. So I consider myself fortunate there. I mean, I had the right idea, but I was just in too premature. It came down, stopped me out, only to go in the direction that I assumed it would, which is frustrating, isn't it? Okay. Nothing you can do here, really. My gut feeling tells me this. What I'm looking at here is it probably won't go up. So I would say, well, I say probably won't go up. I would expect, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going to work up in a channel to me. That really unnerved me, that did. I haven't done that. The last time I did that was about 2 months ago. Try to train my eyes and brain to reject long runs. I have no setup. They look nice, yeah. I'm usually pretty good in my setups. I can usually pretty much look at a setup and I either like it or not. I think because market was moving, you know, I knew that there was a channel up. As we know, there was a channel up. And we'd had a break, so I was looking for, let's do something like that. So I was looking for 2 legs back. Now that's the bar I took there. Now it looked a little bit different or when I reloaded, before I reloaded. And when I say different, I mean that bar triggered above it. So it was a second entry long, so we kind of had 2 legs back. So the idea long was right, but it came down a few extra ticks before it went up. So I got in there, did I? A tick above there. So it would have given me 3 points, but it never triggered it, and it came back, stopped me out for a couple of extra ticks. I put my stop below here. One, partly because I thought, I realised I made a mistake, and I thought that is probably the line in the sand, and that would have caused me a $750 loss. So I don't know. I don't like moving my stop. I don't think you should do it unless it's calculated and you know what you're doing and you're very experienced. And I don't consider myself in that category as of yet. You know, I've been trading for 4 years. I consider myself as an intermediate level, so I can make money and I can build an account, but I still have a lot to learn, and I still, you know, have these little problems from time to time. But I put it there, which, to be honest with you, usually a position like that off the key entry doesn't get stopped out. But you know what it's like. It's just not an excuse for it. So possible second entry long if this is going up. I think it's probably a bit too premature because we have 2 pushes. So we've had the break here, 2 legs back and 2 legs up to a new high. So I think going long here is probably a bit premature unless I do it on a single account. It's quite a small risk, but so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's just do it at account 11. Toggle these ones off. Let's just see.
Order submitted.
Just account 11. Let's see how it falls. So no, bar's enough anyway.
Order cancelled.
So what I think I might do is just trade this one account now for the rest of the day, for the remainder of the day. It spooked me a little bit like that, and I don't want to do that again. So this is account number. Let me just check. Yeah. So channel break, new high. So we've had a break, 2 legs back, 2 pushes up to a new high. In fact, let's just get back to how it was. We'll do them all. Yeah. Okay. Just shut them down and just check. I like that one. I don't know if anyone noticed that. You didn't see it on my other screen. When you open Replicanto, if you've already got one copy open, lets you know now. I remember when I first started using it, I made that mistake of having two open and I didn't notice, so it doubled up. 2, 3, 4. Let me just make sure everything's open as they should.
Order submitted.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 contracts. Yeah.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, so from now on, I won't trade the first 15 minutes. I'll avoid the first 15 minutes. Okay, excuse me a second. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be a minute. Okay, so this looks like it's coming down. So that uptrend is played out. Let's just see where this goes. So channel with a break, 2 pushes down, 2 pushes up to a new high, and a push through that EMA. So there's 2 options here. It's back into this range, or this is reversing. Or it could be just a couple of attempts and then further up. It's hard to say at the moment. Yeah, Thomas Way's rolled over as well, which is good. I'll mark that one, although it was the other chart, which obviously was a lot better. I'm not going to bother marking that other trade I took. I got lucky on it. I got out for a tick. I want to try and forget about it. Okay, it'd be interesting to see how this reacts. I'm still paying attention to the bottom of this range. We've had a breakout at the top. We could have a breakout at the bottom. Or it could be reversing. Yeah, I was just thinking the last time I moved a stop. I'll tell you what it was. It was about 3 months ago. There was a really big long downtrend and we had what looked like an overshoot, and I took a second entry short and it stung me. And then we had a pullback like this and I went long and it went down, and I moved my stop. It was about 3 or 4 months ago. That's the last time I moved my stop. I move it a tick occasionally, but that's a kind of a calculated risk. Sometimes it'll stop you out for a tick and then move in the same direction. So I've got no issues with that, but moving it an extra, what's that, 3 points, something like that. Also, luckily, the risk, although it was down there, didn't get down to 750 risk, so it won't register with Apex. That's the most you can risk in a trade, and that's where I had my stop at the lowest, and price didn't get down to it. I don't think it's a matter of where you have your stop, it's more where price goes down to. Okay, so is this reversing? So, by the looks of things, this does look like a reversal, doesn't it? Couple of legs up. Test this bearish bar here. So possible overshoot, break out of this. It's hard to say at the moment. If we can get 2 legs, then I'll have a go short, but only if we get 2 legs. So it's just the way this is pushing up. I would say that's probably an overshoot. It looks like it's just looked at this 50% pullback or close as. There's the low there. It's bounced right off there and pushed up strong. So I generally don't use these fib levels, but occasionally I do if you have a pullback and move up strong just to see where it bounced. A couple of people on Thomas Wade's forum have mentioned it. So worth paying attention to. Took the second entry long fell breakout down here. Someone else took that as well. Let me have a look. Yeah. Skipstream took it for the, well, he said 61%. Oh, from Fridays. Okay, got you. Yeah, so we took that one. I think the only, well, I don't know. I mean, an overshoot, generally, I'd avoid these type of thing anyway. I will take a break out of this. But I think the only thing I have is we've had a break, we've had a push up with 2 legs down in a break, 2 pushes up to a new high. So there's always that possibility it can reverse. Let's see about it's perfectly. Yeah, I didn't even realise how perfect it was, to be fair. I think it was sat right under there. You know, if they do make a difference, don't they? It's not something I generally trade. I'm aware of it and I have a look from time to time, but it's not something I pay too much attention to. Perhaps I should. And perhaps I should. But yeah, after the 2 pushes down, 2 pushes up to a new high, I'm always wary that are we going to have 2 legs up here, trap some longs, and then come down for a second leg and maybe end up ranging or whatever. So let's have a look. Let me just have a quick squint at the daily. Yeah, it's pushed up there quite nicely. Okay, daily. So we've had a couple of legs back, haven't we? We didn't quite get there. We kind of looked like we made a double bottom there. Doesn't look terrible. You know, a lot of the time when it does come back, it actually comes back to the EMA, back to the EMA, back to the EMA. That hasn't. So I'm always curious of that, always wary of that. It's a lot of this is irrelevant, really. Anyway, I mean, it could come right down here. It could push straight up. Okay, folks. I'm just going to make it. That spooked me. That traded earlier. So I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, gather me thoughts, make a quick cup of tea. I got a little bit lucky there, that's for certain. So 3 to 5 minutes, I'll be back. Okay, channel break, new high. A couple of legs down, maybe something. Is there something larger moving? That's a bit early for me, that is. So channel with a break. Actually, that would probably go there, wouldn't it? Not sure about that. Let's get rid of it a minute. Daryl, just submitted my first order payout, 650 on Top Step. Started my trade in prop gym in January. Good on you, mate. It's like a little surreal to finally request a payout. Yeah, it happens. We all get there in the end. So good on you, mate. Enjoy it. It is nice when you get your first ever payment. Top Step. I'm gonna have to give Top Step a try one day. What do you pay? What a Top Step charge for an evaluation and for your PA account? I think the cheapest at the moment is My Funded Futures. You can get that for $76, and that's an evaluation. Now, assuming you pass it, you don't pay anything extra, so it's just like a one-off. But you got to rely on passing it. I'm hoping we get a decent discount, or I'd really like to go back to the $85 for the PA fees. That's the most attractive thing for me. Well, it's $80. I can get you $4 or $5 off it, so it works out. I think it's $76. And that's all you pay. So you pay that price, and then if you pass it, you don't pay when you move on to a PA account. It doesn't cost you anything extra. $49 for the 1,540, so it's $200. Yeah. Want the second entry short, extremely uncomfortable. Did you? How many contracts? How many contracts? How do you mean, Jay? How many can you trade on it? If that's what you mean, 3. So so when you trade My Funded Futures, you can trade up to a maximum of 3 accounts. That's on your evaluation. I've got a PA account with them. So you can trade 3, and when you're on your PA, so I'm on my PA now, I can only trade 1 contract on a PA until I hit $1,000, then I can go up to 2 contracts and so on. I think it's a better way. It kind of slows you down a little bit. And it's a lot harder to blow an evaluation on trading maximum 3 contracts. So it just gives you that little bit of breathing space. And after $1,200 loss for a day, it closes you out for the day, and then you go back tomorrow. So there's protections in there. Quick payments as well. You got to trade for 5 days to get a payment, and I believe it's a quick payment. I think within 24 hours they approve it and pay it. So for me, that's number 2. So Apex is my number 1. My Funded Futures is, well, it's the only ones I've got at the moment. Never tried Bottlenocks. I don't think I've tried Top Step. I've had 1 account with Take Profit Trader. What I didn't like about Take Profit Trader is if you lose $1,200 in a day, you blow the account, even though you've got a 2,000 drawdown. Apex payout speed. Yeah, they do, yeah. I had payments this month. The last one I put in was on, I forget what number account, was about 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago. It was for $2,000. I put in two 2000s, a 950, and I think a 600, something like that. It's 550, 600. One of them was declined, which I kind of knew was going to happen, and the other ones were paid. The last one, the 2000s, I put in for it on the Friday night. Saturday tea time, it was approved. Sunday afternoon, it was paid. The only thing is, with an international trader, it takes about 2 days for Plane to pay you. So it goes into your Plane account straight away, and then Plane pay you. I'm still waiting for one for Plane, actually. They take a couple of days. Obviously, depends on when it's on the weekend. So, yeah, Apex, I actually like what they've done. The fact that you can't lose more than $700. Otherwise, it make you trick, because you really shouldn't be. I mean, I moved my stop there to that one. That was $750. Part of the reason why I did it is because I knew I wouldn't want to risk any more because it could interrupt my payment. But I wouldn't ordinarily want a 7.5 point risk. But I like the fact that it kind of forces you to make better decisions. I mean, you can still do it. You can still risk the account, blow the account. But if you do risk more than, if when you're in a trade, it hits more than 750, even if it goes on to win a trade, then during that period when you ask for a payment, it'll get refused. And then the good thing is you just trade for another 8 days. 5 of them have got to be $100. The rest, the other 3, it doesn't really matter. So I like the fact that even though sometimes you do something silly and take a risk and you get away with it, they don't remove your money. They just, you get to keep it. They just make you trade another 8 days. So I think Apex have improved. They have got this. They have got this straight to a funded account coming out at some point soon. So it'll be interesting to see what that is. If it's ridiculously 300 or more, I just won't bother. But yeah, I might have a go at Top Step one day. They tend to not have any offers or deals, don't they? Was it 50 and one? It's about $200 in it for an evaluation and the PA. So I liked Apex's previous offer. $33 for the evaluation, $85 for the PA. Worked out $125, $123. It was a steal, wasn't it? Mind you, I think the one good thing with Apex, apart from my funded futures, now, my funded futures, you pay $80, about $76, and that includes your fee. But if you blow the evaluation then has cost you $80 or $76. Whereas if you blow an evaluation with Apex, you've only lost $33. So $85 for an eval and $33 for a PA. Yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Jay, they do that again. I think they had it's obviously they'll be assessing how much sort of money they have coming in when they do various different offers. You'd think they'd know that as a company, wouldn't you? So I think that was pretty attractive. So hopefully we get that back. But I'd rather pay. I'm not bothered about the 90%. When we had 90%, then it went back to 125. It's still all right. So it saves you an extra $16, but you're paying an extra $40 for the PA account. So the 90% off wasn't quite as attractive as it sounded. So I could probably... Let's just give this a nudge. I like that. Touch, 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 touch. with the brake. So there's one leg. 6155. I usually have it marked, but I haven't done for a while. Did you say it was 6155? Now this is rolled over. So how the hell does that work? So let me just go back to December's contract on my other chart and find out where all-time highs is. Oh no, it's still higher than that. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's different on the old contract. Are you looking at that on the new contract? Yeah, I think it's different. You two may have different contracts. Let's see if I look on the daily. The daily all-time highs takes a bit of stretching, doesn't it? So 155 you've got. See, I haven't got anywhere near that. So this is on December's contract. There's the daily there. So all-time highs. You've got it quite a bit higher. You've got all-time highs up here. Hold on a minute. How's that? You've got all-time highs. Just retracting off Friday's high. Yeah, see, all-time highs is there, which is about, what, 12? 6112, something like that. No, it's different on here, isn't it? Okay, it's because of the different contracts. That's 12. If I go to... Yeah, it's higher, isn't it? So you're both about right, I think. Let's have a look. So this is the new contract. So all-time highs is around about 181. Exponential 181. Yeah, that's about right, isn't it? I think you might... Are you marking it on December's contract? That takes it a bit lower. Anyway, it's up here, I think, isn't it? Is it up here somewhere? 180. Yeah, it might just a little bit higher than that, but... okay, that makes sense. There it is. So this is on the new contract. I usually have it marked, so... Yeah, it's about right. It's about 18125, you said, haven't you? Load all-time highs, extend right. Apply. Let me just check that's right. Yeah. So, yeah, all-time highs there. So just over 180. We're still a ways away from it yet. So it does look like we may get 2 legs up. See, really, you should have that there, wouldn't you? Anyway, up here somewhere. If it does go. Checking off Friday's highs. Yeah. If it's going to get through it, it needs to come back here, really, doesn't it, to pick up some more buyers. If that's where you're going to buy. too risky, that, for me. It's come lower, really. But yeah, you have to pay attention to that. See, we've had a break there and an attempt at a new high. So I'd like to see 2 legs back here. I mean, there's no reason why it can't get above here, but if it's going to push above there, you need more buyers, don't you? Which, if there are buyers here, they're probably going to be down here, really. It is bouncing off this level here. Twice we've bounced off it. It is a second entry off my other charts. Technically, it's not really by the count, but it's more about 2 legs, isn't it? Very tempting, that. It is 2 legs back. Okay, so there is 2 legs back. It is bouncing here, but I just don't like this. It's a bit congested. All resistance, new support here. It does look like 2 legs back, 2 attempts to go lower. It hasn't triggered. Oh, it hasn't triggered anyway. I prefer that a little bit more bullish, but it is a little bit stacked here. But okay, it has triggered that. But I'm just not sure about this at the moment. It is 2 legs back and it is bouncing. But I'm just sitting tight here. Okay, so I'll say it worked. It did push up. Chicken. I'm just a little bit dubious about this. It's a little bit congested, although it did drop below there. Does he go for 3 points. I don't know how many points there are to the top. I'm guessing it's not 3. So I got to push through to that. Now, great if we are continuing up, but I'd much rather get out before the lows, which is around about here. 0.5 you're going to get. It's just not worth it at the moment. It took a small scalp. Yeah, if you take a small one, I'm already up a bit today, and I got a bit lucky with that one where I adjusted my stop to here, which I shouldn't have done really. But I managed to not take the loss. So, and then I took a trade here. Well, it looked a bit better on the other one, which worked. So I think I've had my little bit of luck for today. So I'd rather just sit and wait for something just a little bit more safer, a little bit more obvious. I just don't like this. It is a strong move up, to be fair, but I'd like something a little bit more obvious before I take another trade. Take this one. There's nothing. He's not showing anything at the moment, bud. I would probably let me have a look at his chart. Yeah, you can't see anything at the moment. He has got that in a channel, so I dare say if Thomas Wade, when you heard him talking now, you'd be saying that, be looking for a new hire, and rightly so. There's no reason why it can't. But sometimes you're getting a bit premature. It triggers, stings you, and then ends up going in that same direction. How many times have we seen that story? So I'm glad I stayed out of that one. It is a little bit congested here, and it did trigger. I'm not saying it's not going to win, but that's not what you want to see, is it, when you're in a trade there? It wasn't a huge risk. I think it was a 2-point bar. In fact, I think it was a bit less than 2 points. So tick above, tick below. It's about 2.25, so it's not a huge risk. But I've taken all my risks for today. I want something a little bit cleaner. So looking on this second chart, there's a big bearish bar there which is triggered. This would be 2 legs back with a higher low. So the trouble is, the issue I have with that, this is a channel with a break. It may trigger you and then give you a lower high to break the lows here. Now, whether that'll happen or not, I don't know. So what I might do is put those on hold and just trade one of my accounts. So if I go with number 11, let's see if it works. Let me just...
Order submitted.
Yeah, so I'm going to trade 1 on this bar if it forms. Right, let's just... Trouble is, no, forget it, it's 13 ticks already.
Order cancelled.
There's no point. There's just no space left, really. I mean, we got this channel down the break. Looked like it was going to break above there, but I don't want to get in that. It's 13 ticks, tick above. You got nothing left. So, nothing for me there. So, let's put it back onto 8. That's on 8. That's on 8. Let's check everything opens.
Order submitted.
Yeah.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, the only issue with this as well now, with that leg down, with that big push up, we could get another leg down. That would be much better. If we can get a leg and a leg, then I may have a go at that. So let's just check we've got nothing larger forming here anyway. It's a bit early, I think. So there is a higher low, and it could be a triple test here, bounce, 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 but Look how high that bar is. If it was down here, you've got some space, but there's just no space. Look, one tick and you're already at the close of the bodies. So it's just not worth it, really. Well, look, there we go. It's stacking up even more now. Nope, news did absolutely nothing. Where was it? 45, wasn't it? So 245 was around about here, wasn't it? 245, yeah, it's about here. You wouldn't have even noticed, would you? It was a bit earlier than that, actually. It was about here. Just did nothing, which is why I ended up taking that, but on the other chart, so yeah, nothing. Flash manufacturing PMI. I can't remember with that. I don't think it really does anything. That I think CPI, probably FOMC, tend to do the most. CPI tends to be the most erratic. Non-farm payroll, that tends to get a bit erratic, and sometimes you get big moves with that one, but CPI tends to be the most volatile one. I don't pay too much attention to them. I'm more concerned that what time they are and to stay out of them rather than what they are and what they do, really. Waiting for the war of words to break out due to drone pranks. See, what was I missed COVID. I just missed COVID. What was COVID like? Anybody trading COVID? I didn't start trading till a while after COVID, I think. I've been trading 4 years now. COVID was just a little bit before that, wasn't it? Macro seems like a change of current happening into the range. So, yeah, it's, I've never, it must have been quite different. In fact, am I right in saying, didn't the markets actually close for a couple of days? Was it 2 days, 3 days, something like that, which is the first time since, I don't know, was it the Second World War or something like that? Or the great, was it the great crash of whatever it was, where brokers were getting shot and killed and investors were throwing themselves out of windows? What was that? Wasn't that the great crash of, what was it? I can't remember now. March 2020. Yeah, so so 20. So we're in 2024 now. Yeah, so I didn't come into it till after that. So I have no idea what it was like. Whether it was was it a good time for the markets or what? I don't know. I don't think it really matters what happens as a trader. If markets are crashing because of something, obviously it wasn't a good thing for people. That's for certain. So there is an area up here where we do seem to be getting rejected from time to time. So be interesting to see what happens there. You can see it right the way along there. So if there's going to be sellers there, then that's where you expect them to be. You mean halts. Yeah, it doesn't matter what happens in the markets from a trader's point of view. If it's going down, makes no difference to us. We short it. If it goes up, makes a difference to us. We go long. Okay, so you probably could consider that a triple test. My only issue I have, it's very stacked up. Now, sometimes in a triple test, it is rangy because obviously bounce within the same area, so you do expect it. But that, to me, looks a little trappy. So I'll probably be inclined to leave that. having said that, we have got areas where you might expect sellers to be above here, so may get up there. But bounce, bounce, bounce. It is a triple test. It probably work, but it does make it a bit more risky just because of that. That was a 12 tick bar, tick above, tick below. I'm not risking $350 per account to have that to that. There's barely a point and a quarter, point and a half there. As I say, I've already had my luck for the day. I don't have to rely on any more, but there's not much space to the top in all fairness. Yeah, I mean, look at that. The highs of the day there, to match the highs of the day, because it's got to push through. There's a point there, so I can't see where there'd be massive amount of shorts just there, so it'd probably break above here because of the triple test, but it is stacked, so it does make it a bit more risky. So for that reason, I'm just sitting tight. I mean, this bit, you can read this bit, it is 2 legs back, but these 5 bars are just literally stacked like soldiers side by side. It doesn't really give us much. There is a higher low on my other chart. Sorry, there's a failure on my other chart. But we could get, my issue is we have a leg, 2 pushes up there, and have a second leg. In which case, trades like these may not survive. So leg and a leg. That's the only reason I get into a long trade here. If we had 2 nice legs back in a bullish bar that wasn't huge. But when it's like this, it could do anything really. So week today, it's the 23rd. I was going to trade it, but I've decided to take it off. I'm going out for some beers with a few friends, which I don't often see nowadays. So I won't be trading on the 23rd. So the last day will be Friday. So 23rd is a Monday. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. No point in coming on the 27th just for the Friday. I'll come back in on Monday the 30th and we'll see what Monday, Tuesday is like. Obviously, Tuesday being New Year, New Year's Eve. So I'm guessing there's going to be a lack of traders around there. I think most of them may be in bars or pubs or home with families or something like that. So week today, this will be the last Friday this before Christmas. So I'm just going to go out now, have a night out with some mates. So it does look like it might be working. We've got a channel down and a break, and we've kind of got 2 pushes there and a matching low. I wouldn't have taken a trade here just in case it triggers you. We have channel down, 2 pushes and then a new low. Not only that, it's a bit stacked and it's a fair sized bar, so I just got to sit this out. That's what would concern me. 2 legs back, trapping a bunch of traders here and then back here for a second leg. So if you'd have got in there, that's not what you want to see. I mean, the one thing going for it, it is a triple test. So we've clearly bounced 3 times, so it may pull back a bit, but it may work. But just because of those 5 bars stood perfectly side by side, or as as perfect as can be, near enough, but it just makes it a little bit more risky. This is what I was concerned about on this chart, getting this second leg down and trapping that. It may not, it may hold. But if we get 2 legs down, it could stop out these and then end up taking off. And I decided to jump off the prop firm train and start trading, man. Good on you, mate. I think you're ready for it for sure. Start small, I'm tired of all the issues. Yeah, I think ultimately it's the way to go, isn't it? What I'll start doing is, once I get some more payments, is start filtering maybe 50% of what I get into my own account and just trade small. You know, get a few $1,000s in there and just trade a single contract, something like that. 3,300, 150. Yeah, it's about, say, 4 or 5%, something like that. But I don't want to do it with my own capital. What I'd rather do is do it from funds that I've taken from. I have got a bit of savings in the bank, but I'd like to kind of keep that there for a rainy day, just in case anything ever happens. So I always like to have a little bit. But yeah, I might do. So the plan is, in the next about 4 weeks, is to start taking $1,000 per month out of each of these 6 accounts. And then anything else I make on top of that, allow the accounts to grow. And then the next level, I'll start to try and take 1,500 out and something like that. Just, you know, giving it plenty of room. And then I'm going to start filtering some out. I think ideally, I think that's the goal, isn't it? There's no reason why you can't have prop firms and your own accounts. You know, if you can trade and you've got the skills, makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, so that was my concern with taking that trade. It stopped it out by a tick. So it's just risky taking that. You know, you can say, yeah, it's a failure, trapping some shorts, but we got a leg down with a break. So I'd like to make a new low there we have. And by making that new low, that's played out as well. And there's the possibility we get 2 legs back and a push up. But depending how you draw that, you know, there's a possibility you could draw that with an overshoot. Looking at it, I don't think it has actually. It's fitting super tight right the way along there. So maybe we have 2 legs round and it pushes up, or maybe it doesn't. We have, Brant mentioned earlier there, bounced off Friday's highs literally to the tick. So, you know, you can see there's selling up here for sure. I'd have preferred to get a little bit higher, but there's going to be sellers up here, you'd think so. Selling this area. You know, if you can sell here, stops above here or something. But there is a possibility of 2 legs back. Let's just see where this takes us to. So let's put that there right at the top. And there is a perfect measured leg. So what I'm going to do again is just trade my one account if this forms, which is 11. I don't really want to trade
Order
any of my other
submitted.
accounts. I'd rather just trade the one.
Order filled.
Okay, so I'm in that trade. I don't want to trade them all, but it is 2 legs back and a triple test. So I'm just going to trade this one account here. But it is a channel up with a correction. We'll see anyway. So bounce, 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 triple test, 2 legs back. I think that's worth a go. I don't know whether I'll get out for 3 points. I may have to come a little bit closer. We'll see. That's if it works, assuming. But it is 3 clear bounces. Perfect measured leg back. I may just get out for a couple of $100 here if it gives me it. There'll be some stops there quite lightly, so if you can get above there, I just don't really want to risk much more. There'll be stops there, I don't doubt. See if we get a higher low here. I expect a little bit of sideways, but I like it. I think it's the lowest point. It's a nice strong bullish bar, 2 clear legs back, so I like this setup. But I'm only trading on one of my accounts, so okay, so hopefully this high and low forms. Oh, why wasn't that open? That's strange. Note down here. That's strange. It won't open. Okay, so there's a higher low there, so that's unusual. Oh, that's better. So triple test. So triple test, 2 clear legs down, high low. I think that's okay. Be nice to see it. Be nice to see it trigger, of course. It's clearly bouncing off there anyway, so that's all we can try, isn't it? So I may get out of this. I'll see what happens. I like the setup. Sometimes you just got to leave it, but yeah. It's the strongest bar there. It's clearly 2 legs back. It's a perfect measured leg. And it's a triple test and a good strong bar. So sometimes you've just got to leave them. Sometimes they do come back. But it's not a huge risk. It's only on the 1 account as well. So at the moment, whenever I see a trade like this, sometimes I'll get out of it and sometimes I'll go on to work. May just come down and retest this before it pushes up. I've got the stop in place. It's not a huge risk. It's only 1 account. So, excuse me. Someone else is in it as well. What's it like on my other chart? Actually, it doesn't look any different really, does it? So that would be a second entry long if it forms, kind of higher low as well. If it forms.
Stop filled.
Okay. Well, that didn't do what I expected. Anyway. So that was minus 3 and a quarter, I think. 3 and a quarter, something like that. So minus 2. Something like that. Okay, I was surprised actually. The only thing is there's such a, obviously, you know, there's rejection from Fridays there. So that's why I think. Okay, I think I'm done today. So I'm up on some of my accounts. I'm up on 5 of them, 4 of them, and down on 1 of them a little bit, which is not terrible. So I think I'm going to knock it on the head there, actually, folks. So that is it for today. So I'll be back same time tomorrow. Yeah, it looks like it. Same time tomorrow. So best of luck if you're carrying on trading. Failing that, I'll be back again tomorrow and we'll do it all again. So you're welcome, mate. So have a great evening and we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.